ahead.
So he was telling me you can't drink blood, like in Old Testament laws.
Whose blood can't you drink?
Well, I thought it was always the blood of animals, but he was like, no, blood is blood.
No, that's not true. He's
Yeah,
lying to you.
that's what I told him, but
You cannot drink the blood of the animal, and that makes sense. Why? Because
it takes
the
life.
blood is the soul, the life of the victim, right?
Yeah,
So when you drink the blood of the animal, you're drinking the life of the animal, right?
yeah,
But the animal cannot preserve your life because the animal is inferior to you in
hmm
value in the sight of God, correct?
yeah.
Who has greater value and dignity in the sight of God?
The human.
Human.
Yeah,
So, why do you think animal sacrifices had to be repeated over and over again?
it was atonement. There wasn't an eternal
Well, why had to
sacrifice.
be repeated over and over again?
There wasn't an infinite, like eternal sacrifice.
Because an animal life is not equal to a human life.
Oh yeah,
It's inferior in value, right?
yeah. That makes much more sense.
So, how can an animal life justify and satisfy as a payment for human life? Because the soul that sins shall die, right?
hmm
So, how can an animal life, animal soul, be adequate payment for a human soul? It cannot, correct?
Yeah, it can't.
So, what happens is because the animals could not mm, be a sufficient, adequate payment for a human soul that sinned, they
hmm
would be repeated as a sign to God that a death takes place when someone sins. So either you die or someone else dies in your place to spare you from dying. So in this case, the animals, but the animals are not adequate enough, sufficient enough to provide an adequate payment to make satisfaction for a human
Yeah,
debt, right? Because it's
yeah,
inferior. So God had them repeat it to provide a temporary covering. And therefore, when you take in the blood of an animal, you're taking in the life of an animal, right?
yeah,
But an animal's life is inferior to your life.
yeah.
So, what would be the point of taking in the animal life?
There wouldn't be a point. It'd just be
For
stupid.
the life of the flesh, Leviticus 17:11,
hmm
the soul of the flesh is in the blood, and I've given it to you on the altar to make atonement for your souls, for it is the blood that makes atonement by the life. So, and this is the context of not eating blood.
hmm
Here it is. What's the context? Because when you eat blood, you're eating the soul, the life of the victim.
Yeah.
So do you understand the connection?
Yeah, yeah, I
Listening?
do. I see it.
You guys in the comment section, are you learning or are you engaging us? So I start blocking people? Because the questions for me to answer is for your benefit. That's why I'm doing it live. He
hmm
just asked the question. You're not supposed to eat blood. Then why are you eating the flesh, drinking the blood of the Lord? Here's the argument. What God is saying is you are not to eat animal blood because that's the only blood that you could shed
Oh, yeah.
because the life of the flesh is in the blood, right? So
Yeah.
if I were to eat the blood of the animal, I'm doing what? Eating the life, the soul of the animal, right?
hmm
But why would I want to take in the life, the soul of the animal when human soul is greater than an animal soul, right?
Yeah. It doesn't make any
But I don't
sense
know
to
if you
do
caught
so.
it. When I
Yeah.
drink the blood of Jesus, what am I taking in?
His life.
And isn't that the life of the God man?
Yeah, it's much
And
better
if
than ours.
anyone's life you want in you is his life, right?
hmm
So that makes sense why we would eat his flesh and drink his blood, because we are taking his life in us, and then his life becomes our life, and his life is incorruptible, so we become incorruptible.
So that's why he says that in John 6.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was a much better answer than I gave him, but that makes much more sense. All right, well, I know
Does
you
that
got a
make
lot of
that help
people in
you?
here. Yeah, it definitely does help me. Yeah.
All right, brother.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna try to talk to Father Josiah when I'm in California.
Yeah, find him, yeah, and tell him that you know Sam Shamoon. Maybe then he's going to get you blocked from going to church.
Oh yeah, yeah. Hopefully not. I probably won't tell him that if it happens,
Right.
but yeah, I'll come back in when I do.
All right, brother. God
All
bless
right.
you.
Thank you. Have a good one. God bless.
Do you see now the wisdom and the logic and why you don't eat the blood of the animal? Because you're eating the life of the animal. You're ingesting the animal's life. So the animal's life becomes your life, right? Why? Animal souls, animal lives are inferior to human lives. But when you take in the flesh of the God-man and drink the blood of the God-man, you're taking in the life of the God-man, and his life is incorruptible. Right? Makes sense.